Trans period pride. What the hell are we doing? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that I could finally sit down and make a video. I started a new job not too long ago and I've been working the night shift, so haven't really had the chance to make videos, but the lighting is so much better right here. You can actually see my face and I have a microphone so you can actually hear me. Incredible. We're upgrading, guys. Today, I wanted to talk about the event going down in the Boston Library. It's the Trans Period Pride event. And this little flyer right here says, join Mass Now and the MA Trans Political Coalition for a consciousness-raising discussion on menstrual equity and the experiences of trans menstruators. So women, because guess what? Only women get periods. And the word menstruators, oh my goodness, that is so derogatory. Calling people who have periods menstruators is so derogatory and dehumanizing. I don't care that these people are trans. It's a dehumanizing label. Like birth giver, like breastfeeder, chest feeder. It's dehumanizing and degrading. So the whole point of this event is to get a bunch of people together who claim to be trans and talk about their periods. I guess they're also giving out free period products there. Okay, that's fine. But the issue that I have with this is trans men, who are the only ones who can get periods, do not want to talk about periods because having a period is something that only women do. And considering the fact trans men are supposed to be gender dysphoric towards being a woman, they don't want to talk about that thing. They don't want to talk about the thing that only women can do. That's how I know that all the people going to this are not actually trans and they're not actually gender dysphoric, because if they were, then they wouldn't be going to this event and talking about their period. Trans men do continue to have a period for a while when they start testosterone, but what testosterone does to the female reproductive system is it starts to put it through menopause. And when you go through menopause, you lose your period. So you're going to lose your period when you are on testosterone for a certain amount of time. It differs between the person. Like sometimes it could be a month and could be years out, from when you start testosterone. But it does stop. That's obviously not to say that there aren't trans men who still get their periods, because there are. Obviously, it doesn't just stop the second that you get on testosterone. But again, trans men don't talk about their period because they don't want to be women. They don't want people to know that they're women, and only women get periods. So this event is just full of a bunch of women cosplaying as trans. And it isn't just for trans men, it's for trans masculine and for queer people and anyone who menstruates and intersex people. There they go, bringing the intersex people into literally everything that they do, despite the fact that intersex people have said countless times over that they want nothing to do with this discussion around the trans issues because they are not trans. I don't know why this is so difficult for these transgenders to freaking understand. Just don't bring people into this stuff that don't want to be brought into it. Well, considering what they've been doing to women for the last decade, I really shouldn't be that surprised that they're not listening to intersex people, but that's a totally different conversation to have. I thought that there would be more videos from the transgender community discussing this event, but actually the only people who are really discussing this event are women. Women who are tired of the trans bullshit. Of course they're discussing this, because this is a huge slap in the face to women. I mean, the flyer literally calls these women who are cosplaying as trans menstruators, calls them trans menstruators. That's disgusting. That's a dehumanizing, degrading term. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're not. That is a degrading name to call anybody. Since there haven't been any people in the transgender community who are really talking about this, it was really hard for me to find any videos to react to. The only one that I could find was from a trans woman who is a man who doesn't get a period because he's a man. So let's watch this.
apparently is having a trans period pride event where they are having a discussion on menstrual.
Why the fuck are you so mad? This has nothing to do with you. It's a trans event, parade, pride, whatever.
Actually, it does have to do with her because she's a real woman. It has nothing to do with you, sir. You are the one who should not be talking about this conversation at all because you don't get a period and you never will because you're a man. Anyways,
They're giving out free period products. Trans men exist. Like,
correct, trans men do exist and they do get their periods. But guess what trans men don't do? Talk about their freaking periods. Because that's a thing that only women do.
shut the fuck up.
Oh my goodness. Sorry that I keep pausing it so much, but it's so hilarious to see these grown ass men pretending to be women, telling women to shut the fuck up on issues that only concern women, real women, not this fake, enormous, boob jobbed up man. So disgusting.
You're annoying.
You're annoying.
Trans women are allowed to use women's spaces.
There he goes. There he goes. Adding himself in there. Trans women deserve to use women's spaces. No, you don't. You don't get anything that you want.
You don't get to dictate what we can use.
These entitled men pretending to be women can't keep themselves out of a conversation for even one freaking second. And people still want to pretend like this isn't male entitlement. It's ridiculous. This video, this event has nothing to do with trans women whatsoever because they are men and they don't get a period. And here he is bringing up that he is allowed to use women's spaces. No, you're not. Just because you're pretending to be a woman does not give you the entitlement to use women's only spaces. Also, this conversation isn't about you because it's not about men. It's about women pretending to be trans. And you're a man pretending to be trans. It's really interesting, actually, that I haven't seen any trans men talking about this. The only trans man who I've actually seen talk about this is Buck Angel. And he has been saying all the exact same things that I am saying currently. Only trans man to talk about this topic that I have been able to find. All the rest of them are trans women, just plain old men and women. And even the women are shitting on other women and calling them bigoted and transphobic because they realize that this event is derogatory towards women. It's also super exclusionary to women. You don't see these kinds of events done for real women. You don't see period pride events for women where they can go and get free period products and be in a space where they can feel safe to talk about the thing that only women do. You don't see any of that. They are only doing this for trans people. The whole description of it talks about just trans people, trans menstruators. No mention of women, no mention of allowing women there unless they're queer. Yeah, but even then, it just says trans. It doesn't even say queer in this description of the event at all. The only time that I have heard that it's for queer and intersex people too is from people on TikTok who are defending this disgusting exclusionary event. Oh, I guess that they also have like underwear that they're giving away. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. This whole thing is very, very weird to me as a trans man. I would never go to this kind of event ever, even if I still got my period. I would never go to one of these events because that would make me gender dysphoric. In the same way that if I were to see, period products in the men's room, I would never use that. I would never get a period product out of the men's room because I don't want the men in there knowing that I am not a man. And it's the same thing for this event. I don't want to go to an event and to have however many people know that I am not a biological male. The whole point of me transitioning is so that I could look, sound, and present to the world as a biological male. And if I were to go to an event about something that only women can do, I am just outing myself as a biological female. I am outing myself as a trans man. And that's really how I know that these trans men and trans masculine people there are not actually trans. Because if they were, then they would think that same way. They wouldn't want to go to an event like this that outs them as a trans man. They wouldn't want to go to an event that outs them as a woman, because gender dysphoria. But they don't have that. Yeah, because you're not required to have that to be trans anymore. Which, why are you even transitioning in the first place if you don't have gender dysphoria? Different video though. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this event really quick because I thought that it was really, really stupid and degrading to women and real trans people. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.